Now, someone else in the bodybuilding industry, a professional in this industry, has to reply to stupid comments that Bob Cicherillo has said on his show. He's openly saying that the production crew at the Arnold Classic Ohio and UK last year were shit, and that the promoter is shit.
When I tell you the level of incompetence, I'm not mincing words when I say this was probably the worst produced show I've ever been a part of.
This is very petty, Bob Cicherillo. This is very petty for you to come on your show and trash a professional organization like the Arnold Classic and the show that they put on. The godfather of bodybuilding, Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. Bob, what the hell is wrong with you? You need to learn when to shut your mouth. You're really making this sport look like a back alley brawl. This has to be talked about now. Should Bob Cicherillo be fired as the master of ceremonies for the 2025 Mr. Olympia? And if I was the owner of the Mr. Olympia, I would not want that associated with my brand. Because I would be worried that if I screw up or my production crew screws up Dan Solomon at the Olympia, well, then Bob Cicherillo is going to take to the Voice of Bodybuilding podcast and trash me and throw everyone else under the bus. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Muscle Discord. And it's not like I want to keep talking about Bob Cicherillo, but I don't know how I missed this. Thanks to Nate Spear, he messaged me. He's like, "Did you see this thing about Bob and, the Arnold Classic and like Brian Powers, the president of the Arnold Classic Ohio, coming out with a statement against Bob?" In the statement that Bob made about the Arnold Classic's production. I'm like, what the hell is going on in bodybuilding nowadays? Right? So I went to Bob's video, and it's right at the beginning of Bob's video that he put out about Nick Walker. And I guess people glossed over it and really didn't talk about it and completely missed Bob trashing the Arnold Classic and the promoter, Brian Powers. Like, why the hell no one was talking about this? But anyways, so I'm going to let you guys watch this clip of Bob, like, going in on the Arnold Classic and the production of the Arnold Classic. And then we're going to chime in after that and see Brian Powers' response to Bob Cicherillo. Now, someone else in the bodybuilding industry, a professional in this industry, has to reply to stupid comments that Bob Cicherillo has said on his show. Bob, get it together, bro. You're losing it, bro. You're out of control. You got to stop this. All right, let's play the clip here. Let's get right into this.
The topic of the weekend, of course, was, Bob, why aren't you emceeing? Why didn't we see you on stage?
Bob, why aren't you there?
And I've got some answers for that, which I wanted to address fully when I had an opportunity. So I'm going to take you back to last year.
Take us back, Bob.
I did last year's Arnold and Arnold UK, which are only a week or two apart. And to be quite frank, and I'm just going to kind of get to the topic at hand without mincing words, the production in Ohio last year and in the UK were so poorly put together. The team so incompetent. The producer of the Arnold also incompetent.
Wow. Let's just hold it right there. Excuse me for that. Let's hold it right there. The team, like, are you a professional? Like, is this how you talk nowadays? Just talk this shit openly? Like, to people on your show now. I'm just surprised that like he's openly saying that the crew, the production crew at the Arnold Classic Ohio and UK last year were shit, and that the promoter is shit. Dude, this guy hired you for year after year after year, giving you an opportunity to talk at one of the biggest shows in the world. And this is what you're doing? I'm going to get into it in a second here, but the Mr. Olympia needs to watch out for Bob Cicherillo, because if they do something that Bob doesn't like, he's going to go on his show and say something about it. He's going to trash you guys like he's trashing the Arnold Classic. I'm surprised they even let you in the show there, Bob, at the expo.
That it was just a complete shit show.
Wow, shit show.
And I pride myself on my work, of course, on stage. Everybody knows I'm doing the Olympia for many years. I've done pretty much every show on this earth for many, many years now. And a lot of that, you are subject to your production team. Yes, I can do a lot of stuff on stage. I can only do the best I can do. Without a good team behind you, it's very difficult to do anything on stage. And that's from the backstage expediters to the actual producer, the sound guy, the director, if you have one, all of that. When I tell you the level of incompetence, I'm not mincing words when I say this was probably the worst produced show I've ever been a part of. And for those that were there, you could see that quite plainly. And I tell you who else could see it was Arnold, because he was sitting in the front row, and I can tell just by the look on his face, he was not liking what he was seeing. And what I'm saying by that is there was huge gaps in time. Stage time is different than real time. Silence is death on stage. Anybody who's been part of any kind of production can tell you that. Despite repeated attempts to try to get production meetings throughout the year, they didn't seem interested in any ideas. No production meetings were had at any point before we got actually on stage. We went through one read through. It was all over the place, and I warned them at that time. I says, this is not going to work. What they wanted to do is they wanted to go from whatever I was doing at that time, introducing a class. Let's just say we finished the figure class. Oh, no, we can't do figure. They're not there. The bikini class. And then we're going to go to commercial. I says, great. So we go to commercial. Are we showing the commercial on the screen live? No. Okay. So
so this is very, excuse me, guys. This is very petty, Bob Cicherillo. This is very petty for you to come on your show and trash a professional organization like the Arnold Classic and the show that they put on. The godfather of bodybuilding, Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, that he's associated with, that he is in charge of, in a sense. I know Brian Powers is the president, but you're trashing the Arnold Classic, Bob. Now, one would think if you are professional and you have some professionalism about you, you would voice your, dismay to Brian Powers himself or to Arnold himself. Not come out publicly and destroy all the hard work that the Arnold Classic production crew did last year and throw Brian Powers under the bus. Bob, what the hell is wrong with you? You need to learn when to shut your mouth. You're really making this sport look like a back alley brawl. Like we're some low-end budget product. Like this, what is this? This is what we've come to now, that the masters of Olympia, the masters of ceremony for the Olympia, this is how he's talking? So then Brian Powers puts out a statement saying it's unfortunate that Bob chose to use his platform, exactly what I'm saying right now, to criticize our production team. Well, his remarks are both inaccurate, okay, and unprofessional. Bob's taking the high ground, saying, I do want to recognize Bob's past contributions to the Arnold Classic. Professional Bob Powers, that's how you do it. Not like Bob Cicherillo, who just completely trashes the person. So leave a comment below, guys. This has to be talked about now. Should Bob Cicherillo be fired as the master of ceremonies for the 2025 Mr. Olympia? Leave a comment below. Do you think Bob needs an intervention to shut up and stop talking like this about people in our industry, whether it's a professional, top pro athlete like Nick Walker, or the president of the Arnold Classic, Ohio and UK? Look at that man sitting right next to Arnold there. That's the guy Bob Cicherillo shit talked. That's where we're at right now in this industry. And if I was the owner of the Mr. Olympia, I would not want that associated with my brand. Because I would be worried that if I screw up or my production crew screws up Dan Solomon at the Olympia, well, then Bob Cicherillo is going to take to the Voice of Bodybuilding podcast and trash me and throw everyone else under the bus like he did it for Brian Powers and his hardworking crew. You should be ashamed of yourself, Bob. This has to stop. I'm not sure what's wrong with Bob. Bob is a good MC. But this side of Bob, this is getting out of hand. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Leave a comment below. Do you think Bob's gone too far now? Has he gone too far? I'd love to hear your opinion. All right, guys, remember to like the video and subscribe. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.